Hello, hello. Welcome to Create a Manifestable Vision. I'm super excited to have you here with me today as we talk about how to manifest your deepest desires on autopilot and how to use vision work to create that abundance mindset for yourself that you can really, really thrive. So, who am I? How can I help you? My name is Brittany Fagan. I'm a licensed therapist and a certified mindset coach. I have been doing this powerful work for over a decade. Lots of trainings, lots of certifications underneath my belt, lots of experience underneath my belt. But the one that I'm most near and dear to is I'm a healer. Like, I'm a healer. I love working with everyday women and seeing them break through their mindset traps, really unleashing their highest selves, stepping into their manifestations, stepping into their visions, and really living a life full of joy, life satisfaction, and ease and peace, and just to thrive. I love that. I love being a witness to that testimony. So, and I know this to be very important is vision work. And with me, I connect with my highest self through vision work, which is what we're going to talk about today. It allowed me to break through my own mindset traps to get to a place of limitless potential. And then leveling it up with mindset mastery, I was able to really feel very liberated to live boldly and authentically on my purpose path and really tap into that belief system of my absolute worth, my absolute deservingness at that identity level. And so I know that everything starts with an empowered woman. The moment we tap into these truths about ourselves, everything changes. The game has changed forever. We create the perpetuity, we create the legacy, we do all the things, and we feel this immense joy and purpose and impact and passion. And then that's where we have the profit. That's where we have the abundance. That's where we have these amazing returns for the investments that we're putting into the collective. So here's the thing, you're that woman. And today I'm going to talk about how to kickstart this, journey for yourself, this Hello Highest Self journey, this abundance journey off with vision work. So what you'll learn today is what exact mindset you have to tap into when creating a vision based on your highest self. Oop, there's a typo, but that's highest self. So you'll learn about that. And you'll understand too about why creating a vision is the most magnetizing, expansive, essential first step before actually goal setting. So a lot of people goal set first, and it really creates a box limitation for you. So we're going to really talk about how vision work is truly the first step that you have to tap into. And then number three, I'm going to talk about how to actually shift your mindset into that state where you're creating a heart-aligned, manifestable, irresistible vision that you can truly step into, truly embody, and that expands with you as you continue to level up and grow and change and desire more and more things as you're, tapping into different identity levels for yourself, right? All right, let's get started. So, what is a vision? It's a tangible representation of your aspirations. It's a clear description of your big dreams, your epic ideals, and your inspirations, right? What's inspiring you, right? It's your intuition's illustration of your purpose with clarity. And it is the mood board of your full body yes. Okay. It is the mood board for your full body yes. So it's the ever evolving destination of your purpose path. And I want to say that it's the ever evolving destination, because you'll see as we keep talking that the vision gets brighter and brighter as you start walking into it, and it levels up with you as your identity and belief system level up. Okay. And that's something that's really, really beautiful and magnetizing too. And I think that's why it's so aspiring, because it keeps empowering you, it keeps motivating you as you walk into it more. So let's kind of talk about the difference between goals and visions. And just by the definition of a vision alone, you can already tell it's very different than a goal, right? So goals are created with a very specific endpoint. It's based on what you currently understand about yourself and the world around you, about what you can and can't do, what your capabilities are, right? Your constrictions. And so it's definitely very reflective of your conditioning, right? Your socialization, your observations, what you think is good girl, bad girl, based on, just your gender, all these different things that have created these box limitations and where they give you openings. So your goals are based on those constructions. And so it may or may not inspire you. It may not be something that lights you up, and it may be feel something that you feel you have to do, you feel you're called to do. And because of that, it can be surrounded by a lot of pressure, discomfort, and resistance because it doesn't really fully always align with you, right? And it does reflect what you currently don't have, but seek to gain in a tangible sense. And I just want to underscore this. So, a goal is a lot of times our goals are based on the lack thereof, like our self perceived understanding of what we're lacking that we want to get. So, again, that's not always something that's going to just like make us feel amazing, right? Because it's focused on the glass half empty, right? Now, a vision, there's no endpoint. It's always evolving, it's always expanding. It's an embodied experience that we're walking into, okay? And it's based on existing within a higher state of being. So it's not about the lack thereof, it's about what else am I called to? What higher levels can I live into as a person? What other things do I want to call into my life that I want to experience, right? And it goes beyond just this, glass half empty, glass half full type thing. This like you either have or you don't, yes or no. It's not that. It's that gray area where you can have all these different things and have this. It's a full body experience. Full body experience. So it is birthed from our intuition, right? With that full body yes. So it comes from within us. It's not externally driven like a goal is, right? It's something that it's inside of us that we get this download, this ping, like, okay, like I really desire this, I really want this, this feels good to me. Maybe you saw it in a dream, maybe it's something that you've wanted, but you've repressed it. So it comes from within you, not externally. And it doesn't always, sometimes always make sense because it's so internal. So it's not based on what I think I can or can't do. It's something that I just desire, period, point blank, the end. And so it seeks to create spaciousness within our lives for more flow, more abundance. So it's not making these one step moment. It's really trying to level us up to a level of thriving. It's trying to push us to the next higher level of being and experiencing life. And so it wants to create the space for us to go into a limitless potential where it's like opening us up to more. Okay, so it's not going to look at the lack thereof. It's not going to look at what our limitations are. It looks beyond that because it believes that we're limitless, that we can have anything. So I like this visual because I think this is like a really good job of a goal and a vision. So a goal is the light is on or it's off. Okay. It serves a very specific purpose. It's one step. It's not multifaceted. It's either that you have it or you don't, right? And when you look at a goal, you create a goal, it has again a very specific purpose. It doesn't yield other returns besides that one specific purpose. And then a vision starts off being, I think, very open, right? Because you're in a limitless place, you're trying to think of different things. So sometimes it can be kind of vague. You're just looking for just a tiny bit of light. Like it's like, okay, I see a little bit of light. Okay, that sounds kind of good. I feel good when I say that thing or when I allow myself to think that thing. So once I lean into it, want to lean into a little bit more, give a little bit more. I walk into that little nugget hole of light, little kernel that I see. All of a sudden, the light gets brighter and brighter and brighter the closer I walk into it. And then all the things that don't serve me, all the things that aren't helping me fade away. And all I feel is that I'm just literally walking right into the light. Like it's brighter, brighter, more pure, more pure. And everything else fades away because all I am now is focused on this vision, this goal, this beauty, this purpose path. And it gets clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer to me that it does consume me, right? But in a good way, because I'm fully embodying this. And it holds so much more because it's encompassing. So it's not the light is on or off. I get surrounded by the light. The vision is the full body experience. It doesn't just serve one purpose like a goal. It surrounds me in everything that I'm doing. Okay, it becomes part of me. I am the light, right? That's what happens. I am the light. So let's talk about how this looks when we're actually putting it into practice. So an easy example is a goal would be like, I want to lose X amount of pounds. A vision would be, I want to have a positive body image. And I think this is a definite mindset trap, right? Because I think a lot of people look in the mirror, they don't like what they see, and they think it's really weight driven. But truly, it's about the mindset trap of how we feel in our body. So if I'm focusing on the losing weight bit, and that's what my goal is, right? It's one track, right? And I may say I need to lose 20 pounds. I want to stop looking and feeling fat. I need to stop being lazy. I need to stop eating so much. I'm eating all the wrong things. I need to start cutting carbs, this, that, and the third. So the outcome is the struggle bus dieting, right? The diet culture. You may feel shame and guilt restricting food, and you're having difficulty sticking to your workout, and you feel like a failure because of that. And you're constantly feeling like you need to do more to reach these really unrealistic goals. But even though you're seeing weight maybe dropping off on the scale, you still look in the mirror and still look at your body and be like, I'm still not happy, right? Now, a vision is about, it would be like the positive body image, because the vision is more about the identity and what we want to experience out of life, where the goal is really practical on the habits, okay? So with my vision, I want to see myself feeling beautiful and radiant in my own skin. I want to feel refreshed and energized, living a really active lifestyle, whatever active lifestyle looks like for you. For me, it's just walking with my kids, in the neighborhood, taking a stroll. Like, to me, that's an active lifestyle, where somebody else may be that they want to be, running every day, or they want to be able to play certain kind of sports or do different types of activities, or join the tennis club in their neighborhood, something like that. And I feel really excited to go out with friends into social events. Like, when you feel good about your body, you want to be out and about, you want to put on clothes, right? So if you can feel this, just saying this vision versus the goals, my body has already responded differently to it. So I've already tapped in to something different within myself about how I, at the body level, am feeling and connecting with this vision. So the outcome, I may be excited to revamp my wardrobe to feel more confident. I'm gonna start looking into magazines or online and look for clothes that would make me feel better, right? I may put a Pinterest board together of different looks. I may seek out foods that make me feel good. Maybe having the milkshake at night doesn't make me feel good, but maybe having the milkshake at 12 or once a week make me feel better, right? Or certain types of food switches that I may make. Maybe the organic does taste better to me. And it may make my stomach not hurt as much as whatever else I was eating. And then I may explore fitness activities that bring me joy. So maybe I'm not going to go work out at the gym, but I really like the Zumba class. I really like doing Pure Bar. I really like, doing kickboxing or boxing. I really just like to walk with my kids to the playground, or walk with them in the park a couple of days a week or just once a week or something. So I'm exploring activities that just make me feel good, that really fit into my lifestyle and how I see myself. And so maybe these things do equate to the 20 pounds of weight loss that maybe you had in your mind, but it's not about that. It's about this embodied experience, about the lifestyle, how it makes me feel, and what I want to experience every day, right? And then from there, everything else will kind of come into place, because at any time during that journey, I can tap back into those feelings of feeling radiant and beautiful and energized and refreshed. And what else can I do to make myself feel refreshed? How else can I feel energized today? So I'm going to be making choices and decisions with that intention. Ding, ding, ding. The visions are here. This list is our intentions. And those intentions are also affirmations, right? I can use these as affirmations and write them on my phone. And every morning I can say, I feel really excited to go out with my friends today. I see myself feeling beautiful and radiant. I am radiant. I am beautiful in my own skin. I feel great. I feel refreshed. So you can't do that with a goal. These goals don't inspire. They don't feel good. They don't feel great. Those would not, motivate me in the morning if I said those. So your vision, as you see, they're great intentions, they're great affirmations, they really affirm, right? Your highest self. They affirm your best version. They really see into that woman. Okay, so let's break it down some more. So a goal focused on those fears and very specific outcomes. And when I say fears, it really focuses on the things that you feel limited in, the things that you're afraid to lose, like that scarcity mindset sometimes too. And it can even be a reflection of like your worst case scenario, your, falling to the trap of, competition and comparitis, right? Is what I call it too, when you're comparing yourself with others. Um, so it's really focused on outcomes versus an embodied process or state of being. And a lot of times it is triggered by our past or societal pressures, self-criticisms, and even our traumas that we've dealt with as well. And so it's less about authentic code and more about achieving external expectations and standards that we may have placed on ourselves. And again, like I said before, it definitely is very much influenced by our conditioning throughout our lifespan. And it definitely is created from external influences. So whether it's about your academics, whether it's about your business, whether it's about your job or your career, about your money, or about your body, or how you look, how you take care of yourself, or how you do things in your family, all these things, a lot of it's from external forces about how they tell us what good versus bad is, right? And so we have to step away from that if we're going to create a vision, because visions are very expansive. They're about those embodied experiences. It's really focused on thriving limitless potential, which is what we were created to be. We were created to be abundant. We were created to be in a state of more. And so we weren't created to be in a box or be limited. So our visions are definitely a reflection of us at our most authentic space and us really living in the full body yes mindset, like what really feels good to us. So it's focused on our authentic evolution versus it being about external validation. It's focused on us living in our truth, us embodying a state of thriving, us embodying limitless potential, us leveling up to our highest selves, our best versions. Like that's what it's about. And the growing into that. Remember that light gets clearer and brighter and more narrow, because it starts to, as you walk into it, you yourself become more and more grounded in your own truth, that those other things like aren't there to combat with you anymore, because you're just so in your yes, right? So it is self-reflective of your personal accountability, because you're responsible. You have that self-responsibility, self-accountability to live life on your terms. And that's powerful. That is so empowering to know that I'm the captain of my own ship, that I can gear in the direction that I see fit. So it definitely is reflective of your true passions and what your purpose is. And when you're in those states, that's when abundance comes. That's where thriving comes. That's where a profit, that return for your investment comes. And what I love the most about visions, like you saw before, it's attached to a very supportive, expansive belief system. So it wants to see you thrive. So it's not focused on the lack thereof, it's focused on adding value to you, showing up in value, supporting you, caring for you, being grace-filled, giving you compassion, and really, working on shifting that mindset so that you're really in your truth. And it is created from, those internal influences like we talked before that really align with our more birthright, like that abundance birthright, that we are created for more. And when you are in this vision, you feel freedom. You feel free. You feel liberated. You feel like you have permission, right, to do the thing. Okay. Alrighty. So when we're creating this irresistible vision, you're giving yourself permission to hope, dream, and desire without bounds, as if the answer is already yes. So when I connect with my highest self through vision work, that was my question. Like, if I knew the answer was yes, what am I going to ask for? If I knew it was possible, what would I want in my life? How would I see my day-to-day life like? what is that? What is the best thing that I could give myself and live in? And that's what my vision became. And I ask myself that regularly. So, because I'm constantly evolving, I'm constantly shedding old belief systems, I'm constantly reprogramming my mind. I'm constantly seeing the proof of my manifestations. I'm constantly seeing the proof of what else I'm capable of. So my vision keeps getting purer and cleaner and more bright, all this stuff. And so I'm growing and walking into it, and it keeps showing me more, keeps unveiling more, it keeps doing so many more things. So that's a great question to keep asking yourself. And I think for a lot of women, we've been conditioned to not be in yes. We've been conditioned to really be constricted in a very specific way of living. And so the idea of hoping and dreaming and desiring, it just sounds nasty. It sounds icky. It just sounds like guilty and shameful. And so we have to re-give ourselves permission to do these things, because that's our divine creation, was to be that and more, And so once you answer that question, you fill that vision in so that it's as tangible as possible. And you, by connecting with all your senses. So when I decided to go from employee to entrepreneur, I started with this vision, and that's how I came up with the answer of being an entrepreneur. But my vision was of me walking with my kids, taking time off to go to their holiday parties and whatever they're doing in their classrooms, and being able to see all the fun things that they're doing at school, and then being able to go on long vacations and take time off when I feel like it, seeing the type of clients that I want to see, do the work that I want to do, and I started to feel into it. So how does it feel? How does it smell? What are you saying? What are you thinking? What are you experiencing? Like all the things, tapping into it strongly. And again, those become your affirmations, those become your intentions, that you're saying to yourself as time goes on, as you're walking into that light. And then most importantly, the vision lights you up in a full body yes, okay? The vision lights you up in a full body yes. So as I'm talking about my vision, I'm like getting excited, right? And because it's like hitting all the different cylinders within me, I can literally screenshot that vision, hold it there, and always go back to it. Day to day, always go back to it. And as you go back to it, it gets even more clear, more descriptive, more beautiful, all these things. And then as you take the next step, right? You figure out what you need to make your goals on. Because I want you to know that goals are important, but they can't be first. So, of course, once you get the vision, then you can go back from there on the actual action you have to take to embody that vision. So, of course, me figuring out I want to be an entrepreneur, the goals were learn this, do this, go here, invest in this, set my website, da, da, da. So those are things that you want goals on. The goals are the inspired, intentional action you're putting down to walk in the vision. But the vision has to be first, so that everything aligns within you, that you're in an abundance mindset. We don't want the box limitation. We want the openness, the limitlessness, where you're thriving, where you really see yourself lit up on fire. And then you can track back from there what specific things you need to do. And it's just like the very next step, right? So you're not going to go so far into the future, just the very next step, because as you grow, you magnetize, and you're in your vision, right? Full body yes, in heart alignment, then more things, more resources, more information comes to you. You becoming more expanded, you're evolving. So you're going to magnetize something different. You're going to get on different timelines than where you started. What I'm doing now is leaps and bounds beyond what I thought was possible day one of my vision work, okay? And so you're not attached to your vision, because remember, it gets brighter and brighter, clearer and clearer, whatever, as time goes on. You start big, you narrow in, okay? And those goals really help you to make the tangible action that you still need, but the vision is what's lighting the pathway, okay? So to help you make this switch, because I still think a lot of people struggle when they're creating their visions. And again, it goes back to what I said before about a lot of women being being put in those boxes, right? Socially, culturally, how you're raised, roles and gender, socialization, conditioning, your different types of traumas and experiences, what you've observed, all these things. So there's a lot of emotional stuff that happens that and habits that we have too that have kind of stunted us from doing this. So these are a couple of good questions that I like to use and ask that help my clients and my students create their visions. One is, how do you want to see yourself in the world? And I think this is a really beautiful question because you always want to be in passion and in purpose. So how do you want to see yourself in the world if you were, living your life passionately and purposefully? Who or what do you want to impact? Like, who are you impacting? Whose lives are you touching? What are you doing that impacts them? What are you wanting to achieve? So what are those endpoints, those check marks that you want to get to, that will make you feel very purposeful, very impactful, that you were adding to the collective, that you're pushing out light, right? And why is this so important to you to do it this way? And I think this is it's important to know this answer, because this is part of your puzzle piece, right, to this massive puzzle of the collective. So we all have a piece. So we want to know why it's important to you, right? Because that's what gives it strength and magnetism, is knowing the importance of it and how only you are the person who can do this thing, right? And how do you want to use your gifts, talents, and strengths to fulfill this charge, to fulfill this purpose? So how do you want to use yourself? And what person, place, thing, thought, or behavior is preventing you from taking action to fulfill this? And this is really, really good of knowing like what exactly is holding you back from living life this boldly and this self-satisfying and this joyful, this purposeful. Like what is it, right? And then what would you need to happen? What would need to happen for you to release that block? So this is also good too, because this is where the action happens, is figuring out what the blocks are, what resources you need, and then what would need to happen to like release those. Sometimes it's really internal. It's our own belief system that stops us. And sometimes it's a situation that we're in, right? Like for me, I was an employee, right? So I had to switch from employee to entrepreneur, right? So you want to know what exactly needs to be removed. And from there, those are some of those initial goals that you can make for the quarter, for the month, for the week, for the year, to start working through. This is what you can start to pull in support, like a coach, like a therapist, like a group program, like a course, right? Like a book. So these are great, or even a podcast. So these are great ways to get clear, but then also to know what I can do right now to get myself one step into the light, And then from there, like I said before, goals come rapidly after that, which is a strategy. It's the goal strategy, the vision strategy, And so you get the vision first, and then you create the strategy afterwards. So this helps you create a strategic plan of embodying that vision. All right. So when you get those last two questions, like I said before, there may be things that you may need to help support you on this path. So I have the Epic Woman Freebie Library for you. It has a lot of free resources for mindset mastery and manifestation. So I have powerful mindset shifting journal prompts, skill building workbooks, mindset audits and process checklists, for alignment, for clarity, for direction. I have some quick trainings in there and challenges for self-development and for momentum, and so much more. So this freebie library, I do update as I see there's a need. And this content definitely comes right from the training vault that I use with my clients. So you're really getting exclusive content for free to really help you on this Hello Higher Self journey, on your abundance journey, on this purpose path that you're walking on, this vision that you're embodying, all the things. And so this is going to help you consciously manifest your abundant life on your terms by truly stepping into that absolute worth and deservingness. So I'm very, very excited for you to get started on this pathway. And I want you to connect with me. I want to know how the training was for you. I want to know if you're having any issues or any blocks, if you need extra support. I want to know if you tap into the freebie library and you're loving something, something's working for you, or you have any questions, you need some support, whatever. tag me, send me a DM, email me, check out my website. Lots of courses on there that are self-study as well on a lot of the different things that we've talked about here that take it to the next level for yourself. So definitely, definitely, definitely check me out. I want to connect with you and help you see you to the next level. And most importantly, be a witness to your testimony. Bye.